In progress.
There you go.
Good evening. Welcome to the Wellfleet Selectboard. Today is Tuesday, August 5th, 2025, and we are beginning this meeting a little bit late at 6 o'clock. My apologies, a lot of traffic. And tonight we have two missing members. Josh Yeston is away, and John Wolf has a conflict tonight, so here I am. So thank you, and we're going to go into announcements and public comments. Is there any public comment here in the room? Yes, come to the microphone or up here. Your name, please. I know it's Kristen.
Hi, my name is Kirsten Anderson. Sorry about the phone. I'm having trouble with my printer. My name is Kirsten Anderson. I live at 10 Bayview Road in Wellfleet. As you all know from my now 4 rounds of public comment and over 30 written communications, my family has absorbed a cost of $91,000 for the BOH mandated installation of an EIA septic at our home. While I am pleased to see an initiative put forth by the town manager to remediate a portion of these losses with his expansion proposal tonight, I respectfully request a drastic acceleration of the timeline for consideration and approval for this measure, and strongly recommend a vote on this measure this evening versus any additional delays. Earlier today, I sent on to all members of the Select Board and the town manager our family's proposed revised contract for cost sharing from the town of Wellfleet, and for the second time, unfortunately, received no acknowledgement or feedback on the feasibility of my very reasonable proposal. Our family simply cannot bear this financial burden any longer, the result of an unchecked policy rollout instituted by 4 Board of Health members who have since resigned in the wake of their collective municipal neglect, however unintended. I ask you to consider entering into executive session following my comments here to review and vote on my proposal of earlier today. I understand from information emailed today from the town manager that the Select Board has the authority to vote on such an approval. While I know this request for executive session is unorthodox, I also understand it is in keeping with state meeting laws. The speed of corrective action needs to match the destructive speed of the Board of Health triggers that have yielded a personal debt of $91,000 at 5% interest for our family. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment? Jude? Good evening.
Judah Hearn, thank you. And as you said, there's a lot of traffic. But I was on the phone and I just heard the last speaker. And so my comment is that there seems to be a systemic problem with members of the public trying to communicate to town staff, whether it be the TA or individual members. And we're not hearing back about what happens with that. So back in October 23 of 2023, you all talked about the complaint process and how that works. And I don't know that that's being followed or what really came out of that meeting, but whether we're talking about, beach stickers or the wastewater costs or anything else, there just seems to be a problem there. So we really need to work on that. I've tried to talk to the human resource person and have been unable to do that. And I've tried for 8 months. I've written emails, I've gone to her office, they're just not respondent. But I have to leave this meeting, so if you could just allow me to say a couple comments about the contract that you're going to discuss. It just seems unclear to me, and I've been following this, how many people are involved here, because we have David Formato from whatever company he's from, David Colton, both of those are working on the 95 Lawrence, and we still have Horsley and GHD who amended their contracts, And there are things in their contracts that I believe are covered in this proposed contract with Teagan Bond. So I just think it's a bit premature for what we need. And speaking of the expanded or the amended contracts, and this is something that I emailed the TA 4 times about, as far as the wastewater comment period, I urged the town to put on the website the actual ENF form, the application, which is 86 pages long. And as I said, I asked him 4 times to do this because there were things in there that I'd never seen before, and then later commented again. But I noticed as I was preparing for tonight's comments that in GHD's contract, it says that it will distribute copies of the ENF and the required attachments to MIPA, state, and stakeholders. And this distribution will be through the client's website. So that's exactly what I asked for and didn't happen. So, that could be because all my emails get hijacked, but I know that Tom gets them. So, again, I think it's premature. I'd like to know what Teagan Bond's other business with the town, like with shell fishing, expanding the culching, how that might relate. And through all of this, I still am very unclear about the water quality testing itself and how that's done and how we're going to do it. I mean, I know there are a number of sentinels, but only one matters. How Chapter 91 is tied to water quality, or why Ryan has not wanted that. Those are important points that need to be understood by everybody.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other public comment here? Any online that you see, Rebecca?
No.
Okay. Well, thank you for those. And moving on, we are going to have a couple of public hearings this evening. One is an application, so I'm going to open up this hearing. An application received July 11th, 2025, a special event alcohol license, Outer Cape Music Festival, Town Pier. It's the second annual event, and it's going to be on August 31st. We have already approved the permit for this festival. This is for a beer and wine license. Is anyone here that would like to speak to this?
He wasn't on the meeting, but all the department heads have signed off on this.
Okay. Do we have any discussion or comments from the board?
My question, Madam Chair, was answered by Rebecca.
Okay. Brian? No. Okay. Well, then I'm ready for a motion.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the one-day special event liquor license to David White, organizer. Actually, I don't think it should be an or.
Of
the Outer Cape Music Festival for August 31st, 2025, to be held at the Marina Pier Stage.
Second.
All in favor?
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Brian, aye.
Thank you, and I'm going to be closing the, could I have a motion to close the hearing on the Outer Cape Music Festival?
So moved.
All right,
Second.
so all in favor?
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Brian, aye.
Next is a petition for Verizon New England Incorporated and NStar Electric Company, DBA Eversource Energy, request permission to locate poles, wires, cables, fixtures, including necessary anchors, guys, and other sustaining and protecting fixtures to be owned and used in common with your petitioners along and across the following public ways, and that is in the packet. Do we have anyone from NStar or Verizon?
I have a question first. So Rebecca, you had earlier sent out an email that you were still waiting on the green slips
We
for
got
this
them.
hearing?
Yep,
All right.
she emailed them to me today.
Okay.
And they're all,
She'd be on, but she's not.
Hi, Select Board.
hi, Matt.
okay.
Hi, how's it going? I am representing Verizon with this petition. Quick introduction. My name is Matthew Preco. I work for Network Building and Consulting. And like I said, we are submitting this petition on behalf of Verizon to place one new pole on Gross Hill Road.
Does anyone have any questions from the public, since this is a public hearing, or a comment? Anyone in the room? No? Anyone online? Does anyone from the board have any questions? Well, while we're waiting, Mr. Preco, could you tell us the benefit of how this, or what is precipitated this expansion?
Sure. Yep. This installation was requested by Eversource to redesign the area and service nearby properties, specifically 1150 Gross Hill Road. Excuse me. So it came from the customer, a request for service that was routed through Eversource and came to Verizon, as they are the ones that set the poles.
Okay. So, just for clarification, if there is no discussion, I am ready for a motion.
I have no questions, Madam Chair.
Brian?
I move to approve the installation of one jointly owned mid-span pole numbered P20/77-5 on the northwest side of Gross Hill Road. The pole shall be of sound timber and reasonably straight, and shall be set substantially at the points indicated upon the plan marked 1656762-1A 7Y 7AL underscore petition plan in a package dated July 14th, 2025, filed with said petition.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Brian, aye.
All right, and I am going to close all the public hearings now.
So
Do I-
moved.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Brian, aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you
Moving-
for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Preco, for being here.
Absolutely.
All right, now we're moving on to an appointment to the Board of Health, and we have an application here from a James Falcone, or is it Falcone? Is Mr. Falcone here?
No,
Is he on is he online?
no.
Is there one that says clam something?
Clam.
But I know what you mean.
No, sometimes,
Email.
yes.
Yep, he's not on.
Okay.
He did get an email.
So what do we think,
Well,
Board?
Through the chair, the board can act, the board can defer until there's a full board or until this person may be able to be present.
My personal feeling is that we defer this until the next meeting. I know that we'll have another application then, and we do have several openings. It's not as though this person's going to miss that opportunity to be reviewed, but I would like to meet him and speak with him. It is an important board.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I agree, because I think the other members should have the opportunity to ask any questions, so I would agree with that.
You fine?
Yes.
Okay, so we are going to postpone that, move this on to another meeting, and we will ask Mr. Falcone to be here. All right, moving along, we're going on to business. Item A, we have a proposal from Ty and Bond for wastewater. Mr. Guarino, would you like to set this up, and then we'll ask people to come in?
I thank the chair for the time. As you know, we've been talking about getting consultancy for both the Lawrence Hill project, specifically as it relates to sewer use regulations, which are void from town right now and probably should have been thought about, and lots of stuff on the plate the last few years. And to assist the board as it looks toward implementing the TWMP and working with, looking at the sewer districts and all of the things that go with it, preparing for what type of plant will be put in at what what the technology might be, all those types of things, whether it's a low pressure or high pressure or gravity feed or a combination thereof, all those types of things. Through my office, the Assistant Town Administrator followed procurement laws. We had a pre-bid conference in which 4 or 5 different vendors showed up for that pre-bid conference. We had the bid opening set for a couple of weeks ago. At the request of one of the firms, we deferred that, as John Bugbee explained to you at the last meeting. We deferred it for a week so they could get their materials in. The bids, the RFPs were open, and Ty and Bond was the only bidder. On this, we reviewed the proposal. It is an excellent proposal. Ty and Bond is known, at least throughout the Commonwealth, I don't know about the rest of the New England, as it relates to their water and sewer work, is not only on the engineering piece, but the regulatory piece, the intergovernmental piece, all of the things that we need as the board moves forward with the sewer commissioners and hopefully a wastewater committee at some point to move this project forward. I am comfortable with the price proposal that was given for a 3-year period. That may be subject to change as we get involved with the project and we see that different avenues may need to be taken that weren't anticipated. But there is sufficient money for this, and I am, as I've told you, we're looking to consolidate old town meeting articles as well. But there's sufficient money to cover this in the existing appropriations. And I would ask the board, after they ask Ty and Bond questions, if they have any, to seriously consider awarding this evening.
Okay.
So, Madam Chair?
Please.
I look forward to hearing from the team. I have a couple of process questions. Would you prefer that I defer those till after? Oh, gosh, I'm so sorry. Madam Chair, so I have a couple process questions, but would you, and I look forward to hearing from the team. Would you prefer that I defer the process questions till after the
You
presentation?
can, let's do the process questions so that everybody
they're-
understands, and even Tom can help us out here if he chooses to
Yeah.
do so.
So, through the chair, I don't think we have the price proposal in here. We just have the technical proposal.
John?
And I should say, I don't question the value of the
Yeah.
proposal at all. I just would expect to
No,
see
it's
the
a great
the
application.
price proposal as well. And,
It was $300,000 for the 3 years.
okay, did we have a not to exceed in the RFP?
I asked to unmute him, but he's not unmuted.
No. Well, no, as I recall, I don't believe we had a not to exceed.
Okay. And I guess I would, just at some point, maybe through the chair, the town administrator could just clarify what we're voting on, because we can move to approve the proposal or approve the award of this contract to the firm, if that's what we decide, but it would be subject to negotiation of a contract, and we don't have a copy of the contract here, so maybe when we get to that stage, if we get there, we could talk a little bit.
Maybe you could award the bid subject
Yeah.
to the contract
Correct.
being drafted by council.
Yes. So that's something maybe we could talk about a little bit later. So none of this suggests that I'm not very happy to hear from the firm. I'm just a process person and do procurement elsewhere. So thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Madam Chair.
No problem. Ryan? You have anything now, or would you
No,
like to wait until?
I-
Okay, so why don't we hear from Ty and Bond, your representatives? You can come up and introduce yourself and tell us all about you. Yes, these three,
come on
and you'll
up
have
to
to
the-
share a
yeah.
couple of microphones. Make sure the
I'll
green
give you-
light
get
is
you a
on.
chair. Okay.
Yeah, we can get an extra chair.
I'll bring a mic over to you.
This one works. You don't have to touch anything, just talk
Yeah.
close to it, or it will
Yeah,
give you
you
feedback.
have to sort of talk into it, so whoever wants to go first.
Shall we introduce ourselves?
Yes,
first?
please do.
Bring that mic closer, though, really.
All right. How's that?
Good.
Yeah.
Good evening. Fran Hoy with Ty and Bond. I'm a senior vice president with the firm and our chief strategy officer.
I'm Ben Levesque. I'm a vice president with Ty and Bond, and I'm a water wastewater infrastructure engineer.
Ryan Chrisaberry, I'm a senior planner with Ty and Bond, and I've been a planner on the Cape for 18 years.
Okay. Any questions? Who would like to go first? Ryan?
I don't have any
Okay.
immediately. I'm glad to see this come forward.
All right, so tell us about what we're going to be doing here and how you see your role in helping us get through this soaring mission that we're on.
So, I think that while it wasn't specifically called out in the proposal, I think the way we approach this is understanding it as sort of an owner's project manager for all of the work that you're doing. We've responded to each of the tasks in the proposal with a plan to help meet your sort of priority initiatives, initially sewer regs with the schedule that you need for the Lawrence Hill Road project. We have the capacity, and the team that's presented here is ready to get going on that. We understand it's a sensitive timeline. I don't have my wastewater hat on. I have been a regulatory planner on the Cape for many years. I understand the regulatory landscape, why we're here, what the significance of the TWMP is, and the framework that you're working within there. But I'll let my colleagues speak to how we'll address the wastewater challenges.
Through the chair, I just
Yes.
want to reiterate something, though, so we're all on the same. The wastewater regulations are primary. Also primary are moving the TWMP in the sewer district and the size of the district. They have to be parallel.
Right.
It can't be consecutive. It has to be concurrent. Please.
Understood.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's our intent for moving things forward. So one of the key things, again, we responded to what was in the RFP. We do a variety of other services, but focusing on helping to develop the wastewater regulations, that probably is one of your priority things based on the schedule associated with the Lawrence Hill project. In
Yes.
conjunction with that, we would be doing a 30,000-foot overview of that project, just helping to assist the town with keeping on schedule and keeping that project moving. And then separate from that, or in addition to that, we're also going to be assisting with the planning for the, and I'm blanking on my acronym.
TWMP.
The TWMP,
Yeah,
just to help that. And I think our intent is to move things all together moving forward. The review had the fastest timeline for the project because I believe it's already under construction. And like Ryan said, we are intending to provide you with the staff that are there, and they have the capacity to provide these services.
well, I'm glad to hear that, if you don't mind. We have been now appointed sewer commissioners, and so your help and guidance is greatly needed, I would say, for myself, and for, I would imagine, the rest of the board. We're not experts in this area, so when it comes to developing those regulations and pushing it along, you know that we have the water district, and now we're looking at sewering, so it's all going to eventually tie together, and your guidance would be very helpful in all of that. You're familiar with the TWMP that's been submitted,
Yes.
and it's out for public comment right now, so, and you know how to work with all of those, so you can take that as the guide as we will.
We understand the public comment period was extended, so
Yes.
it's still active, correct?
Through
Right,
August.
it's still till August 8th, right, so it's just closing, and then we'll hear back, and we'll all hear back at that point, so if we all agree. Barbara, do you have any?
No, like Ryan, I'm very happy to see this proposal. I'm particularly happy to see Ryan as project manager, someone with her experience on the Cape, really understanding how these things get done. I think she brings just a tremendous amount to this project, so I'm very pleased to see that.
Yes, for full disclosure, I've
Yes.
I've known Ryan for 18 years. We sort of both started together back in the day. So, I mean, we're not hanging out and close friends, but we've known each other a long time, so I agree with you in her capacity and experience, so.
Yep. So having worked for a town, I think is extremely important. That's something that not every project team brings to projects like this, so I'm pleased to see that. And I have no question on the merits, just the questions that I had on the process. Thank you, Madam
Okay.
Chair.
Thank you. Ryan, do you have any comments, questions?
I do not. Again, just, I'm very glad to see this proposal before us tonight.
Okay. Well, since we seem to be okay with everything, we're beyond public comment. Shall we take a vote on this? Would we like to approve?
So through the chair, can we first just talk about what we're approving, and so that.
John, are you available?
I am here.
Okay, thank you.
Through the chair, because I think.
Could you
if-
speak a little bit more?
Sorry,
into it?
because I think if we're going to accept, the proposal and ask the town administrator to negotiate a contract, I think the motion should include something about the price proposal as well. So that's why I was asking what the price proposal was, because that should be part of our acceptance.
John, can you speak to that?
Yes, I can speak to that. So the reason why the price proposal was not in the packet was because of the fact that we only had one proposal which allows the town to negotiate the price with the vendor. So we were hesitant to put the pricing into the packet because of the fact that the pricing has not been finalized because we haven't finalized the negotiations. I can tell you that the pricing represents hourly rates for services that were reflected in the RFP. So there were a number of different activities that were laid out in the RFP, all related to the needs that Tom articulated to me. It's kind of like a utility type position, if you will, as it relates to wastewater. But to answer your question, that's why the rate structure was not included in the packet, because we wanted to give this process a chance to be negotiated via the town administrator.
So,
Can I just follow up on
Please.
that? The estimate we had was a $300,000 estimate for the years of service, so
through the chair, whose estimate, ours or the team's?
the teams.
Okay. Do my colleagues have any thoughts on this, or is this just me?
I mean, generally, I like to see the entirety of a proposal, including the price proposal, even if it's not been finalized. It provides a lot of information, particularly on how those tasks are broken out.
Correct.
And how long people should expect for some of those processes to take.
So you wanted to say,
Sorry.
you're okay? Anybody like to respond to these?
Through the chair, I think the way to satisfy everybody here is to allow the town administrator to enter into negotiations and to bring the contract back.
I think that
And to submit, so you also see the price proposal. That was just, you're following the law the way we understood it.
Okay.
So what then, I don't see us taking a vote tonight if we don't have the price proposal. I'd like to wrap that all into one, direction to the town administrator. That doesn't mean I don't support this, but to me, it's premature to vote before we have all the information that we will roll into a motion to direct the town administrator.
So the town administrator, you need our approval to go forward,
It's over
With-
$50,000.
yes, with the negotiations.
Yes, we can, yes. we can
So
vote to
that
authorize.
is what
Yes.
we,
That's all I wanted,
that's
to
what we
authorize
need,
the
is to
negotiations.
authorize to go
To bring
enter
the
into
contract back to the
negotiations and
board.
bring it
Got
back.
Got it, thank you. So
Okay.
that's, yes, so, Madam Chair, I move to direct the town administrator to negotiate a contract with Ty and Bond regarding the wastewater project as wastewater consultant to the town, and to bring that contract to the board for approval.
Second.
Second, okay, it has been seconded. All in favor?
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Ryan, aye.
Okay, well, we'll see you again. We look forward to it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, and it was a very thorough packet. I hope people read it online. All right, Business B, Mr. Magarino. We're here to review and discuss a new policy.
So Thank you, Madam Chair. As much as I understand one of our public commenters tonight wanting action on this evening, I am uncomfortable asking the board to vote on this without a full board. One of the select board members during the course of the day sent some comments that he thought might want to be included in this. I want to go back and see where and if I can fit them in. That being prefaced, based on the issue of people being kind of caught in the middle between the sewer use regulations that are currently in place that require triggers and concerns about how that may or may not be effectual once we really know the boundaries of what will be sewered, and if we look at a targeted approach toward the nitrogen reduction in other areas once we know the size. There's about 18 in total that have been kind of caught in the middle here. What I have done is trying to bring up to date the current costs of some of these systems as we see them, as we get the pricing from, and then to have some consideration for these folks that have been caught in these $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 issues. The proposal I have before you this evening is pretty simple. It increases the 12.5 to 25, thereabouts. The actual cost of the nitrogen reducing pieces, the 12.5 represented the number we had back in 2021 or 22. The prices have certainly escalated over the last few years, and the current is about 25,000. It's 23.5, and it's going up monthly. So that's why I proposed the 25 for now. And then an additional up to $18,500, or a total of $43,000 up to, to help subsidize part of these excess costs. Or 50% of the actual cost with all of the, whichever is less. So if somebody has a $55,000 system and was caught in the middle, it's not going to be a $43,000 increase. It's going to be up to 50% of that. If someone has a $90,000 or an $80,000 or whatever, we'll get as close to that 50% as we can, but I had to put a cap on it. The numbers are for the select board to massage, do with what you want. This is based on some of the numbers I had seen. I thought this was a fair place to start.
Right. I have a question. So these are really, you're looking at these for this period.
This interim period.
This interim period. So this isn't regulations that will be going forward necessarily for everyone. This is really until we get those regs changed.
Correct.
And anything that may spring up between now and then.
If the Board of Health is able and willing, when you meet with them, to do any deferment or rollback, it would stop. It would just be those people that got caught in the middle. If the Board of Health is not inclined to alter their current regulatory scheme, we'll have to have another conversation.
Exactly. It would be an expensive one. And I just want.
You said expensive. There is sufficient money to cover this now. I am going to propose, and the select board will make that determination, that we take $100,000 from the stabilization account and put it into this fund to kind of help offset the cost, because we're going to end up using, we may need money later on. We might be able to go for a different appropriation, but we need to augment
And
this
at some point, we will have a policy of how this all rolls out for everyone, whether it's a septic or a sewer in the future. So that is going to be the daunting task for us. So this is really to address these people. So I just want those who have been affected, especially here in the room, to understand that this isn't just delay because we can or we want to. This really is a process that we have to think about and roll out, but it's going in the right direction. So please be patient. And I think it would be, I think it's a good way to go for this evening. Since we are missing 2 members, I think this is a conversation that I think you want us to just to put this aside, is that what you're
And I
saying?
just wanted to make one other point, if
Yes.
I could be. I'll defer to Ms. Carboni
Okay,
first.
Bob.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. So I would just like to thank the town administrator for putting this together. I agree, there's some tweaks for the board to make. I think we need to address the term in here sometimes, just explicitly about how long this is going to last and, just what the limits are. But I just wanted to note that we, under the select board policy on policies, we can't vote tonight on this.
That's right.
Even if we were all here,
I know,
we would have to put this off to the next
to
meeting.
the next meeting. I understand that. And this process shall take no longer than 8 weeks, just so people know. So hopefully it won't go that long. So,
Thank you. I think, I'm through, so.
Okay.
I have some
And I was going to
questions
just
and then-
mention something to
And then a suggestion.
Kirsten, but I don't need to now.
So the first question is, so you talked about potentially supplementing these funds with funds from the stabilization fund. Which stabilization fund are you?
The General Stabilization Fund.
That can't be accessed outside of town meeting.
We have to go to town meeting. I was proposing an article for town meeting.
oh, this is what this is.
If there's going to be an article for town meeting in relation to wastewater, it really should be bonded. Even though right now it seems that septic or as currently constructed, the town's septic program doesn't qualify for SRF funding and basically is reliant on the community septic program instead. The community septic program is funded through the SRF program, but they're trying to figure out right now if it's doable because basically the Cape Islands Water Protection Fund is restricted in the projects it can support to those projects that are funded through SRF. It has to be on the intended use plan typically, but if it's on a community septic, it's not on the intended use plan anymore because it's no longer a SRF sole project. But if there's a possibility, it really should be bonded because if it's over $1 million, basically the trust or the Cape Islands Water Protection Fund Trust Fund will pay 25% of that of the debt going forward. If it's below $1 million, it's 50%. So it really should be bonded and not being taken out of the stabilization fund, even though that would likely involve a ballot question. But, at the end of the day, that even if it's only 100, it's, either if it's only 100 particularly, that's potentially a $50,000 savings to the town.
Yeah, I was thinking more, if I could, through the chair.
Yes, please.
My thought was, I didn't want to do an override for $100,000. In the cost of the election on that, it's not a lot. That's only like $6,000 or $7,000. So I'm not trying to say one will offset the other. It doesn't. But I also was thinking, and that makes sense, Ryan, for the reimbursement. It was just for $100,000. We've got the money. I understand the reimbursement. Do we want to go through another override for that amount of money? That was my, and if the board does, I'm all for bonding it. From a fiduciary perspective, it makes better sense. From a timing and ease perspective and hitting the residents with one more ballot vote, my thought was to perhaps eat this. But that's up to the board.
No, I need kind of further education on the subject, so I look forward to that.
Right, so, go ahead.
So the other portion of that is if we take funds from the stabilization fund, we have to replenish them, which then means that the free cash for the following fiscal year will be constrained by the difference there. So it'd be $100,000 less in free cash, and we use free cash to fund a variety of other, other, facility maintenance and everything
Okay.
else.
All right.
Through
I
the
think the
chair,
point
I
is
don't
taken.
mean to be argumentative with Mr. Curley, that's not the intent here. Only if it's an enterprise fund, it's not an enterprise fund back, so the stabilization account would not have to be paid back. It's unlike what we did at the marina, that they had to pay it back. Not saying it shouldn't be paid back at such point, but it doesn't have to, my understanding is it doesn't have to be, since it's not an enterprise fund borrowing from the stabilization.
That's
Okay, all right.
correct. It's just that we have a policy threshold as to the target limits for the stabilization funds.
And
All
I
right,
don't believe
all right.
if we lose that 100,000, you're gonna go below that 4% or 6%.
Okay, so I am very glad that we're not voting on this tonight, and we do have this coming back, so I think that you've made very good points,
There's
Ryan.
a very specific amount that's called for
Ryan.
for the stabilization fund exclusively. It's 4.5% of the previous
Ryan,
year's
Ryan,
fiscal.
thank you. We can
budget.
go, you can have that conversation with Tom in his office, and we can bring all of that forward. We don't have to belabor all of that tonight because we are not doing a vote. So thank you,
So I
and
would
we're
like to
ending this
Also make an
conversation.
additional suggestion. Barbara brought up the policy on policy. Basically, it talks about the process for the adoption of a policy, and as part of that, the select board needs to vote to basically make the referrals, and I would want to, at least for us to take that action tonight, so that we can move this process forward and get those comments back from staff and other relevant parties.
So through the chair, to Ryan, do you mean for getting opinions from department heads? And if necessary, the town administrator refers the proposed policy to town council? I don't know if that's needed here.
Oh, I would send that to council after the
Okay.
board.
So then, I guess I will, when we're done with the discussion, make a motion to direct the town administrator to send the draft policy to department heads.
Yeah,
Go to second reading, so to
Okay,
speak.
yeah.
do I have a
and-
second on that?
And, well, she hasn't made the motion yet.
I'm just sort of collecting information,
Yep.
as I'd like to do. To
Yes,
roll-
I know, I'm not,
To
I'm
roll
not,
into the
I'm
motion,
not
just so
out
we.
to,
No,
And
I
so
know.
generally, oftentimes it's been Rebecca has compiled those responses and provided them to the board in a, a single file.
Yeah.
Or single document. That's helpful to do something like that. I would also want to also send it to some of the boards as well, to see if any of the boards have input. It might be too short of a turnaround, but, I think we should at least send it to the members of the Board of Health.
Yeah.
And probably I would say the Conservation
Yeah.
Commission.
okay.
So it does say to department heads and other appropriate members of town government, so I think there's room for that. It says that the board votes that the topic is worthy of formulation as a policy. Do you think we need to do
Yeah,
that through
I
the
think
chair?
that's.
No, the town administrator's already drafted a policy at this point.
Okay, so we're past the point at which we would say it's worthy.
Worthy of a policy.
Okay, so then, if there isn't anything else to collect on this, I move to direct the town administrator to circulate the draft policy to department heads and other appropriate members of town government for review and comment, including Board of Health members, and town council, and for this draft policy to be placed on the board's next meeting agenda for discussion and potential vote.
Second? I'll second. All in favor?
Barbara, aye.
Ryan, aye.
Sheila, aye. Okay, thank you. Going on to the appointment of the Wellfleet representative to be on the Nauset Regional Agreement Subcommittee. Barbara,
Madam
do you have something to say?
Chair.
Yes, Mr. Garino.
We are now at a point with this regional agreement that there's been subcommittees doing some stuff and that type of thing. I went to the most recent meeting.
Could you
where we
speak a
need
little
to-
bit in more
We
in the
need to
mic?
appoint a select board member and another member to work with myself and the other members of the team, the town manager, select board, and whatever, to put together the regional agreement moving forward. We had a pretty good meeting the other night, went through all of the changes from the new law. DESI has new regulations since the last regional agreement was reached in 2002. And we have to match those updates with our own updates. There are some things that they're being proposed within this regional agreement that the town of Wellfleet is going to need to take into consideration. We currently have one vote on the school committee that's worth 1.4 weighted votes, how they weight them.
Right.
There's a proposal to keep that system or to perhaps have two representatives with 0.7 weighted votes each, which equals 1.4. There are arguments to be made for both sides. If somebody can't be there for the meeting and you only have one representative, you end up with 0 votes. But if there's only one person there, you end up with only half of your vote. Those are the types of things we're going to want to discuss. There's other items too. Ryan, I think, was on that call, on the meeting.
Right.
I'm proposing a workshop during the week of the 18th with Attorney Norris that the town has retained, so she can walk you through this and the board can make determinations on how to go forward.
I have a question. Do we have to make an appointment this evening? I know that there's an upcoming meeting. I was reading Chris Easley's emails.
You don't have to make it this evening, but it probably needs to be made before the end of the month.
Oh, yes.
Because we're going to start
I
moving
agree.
on this in September.
Is there, I would like to ask my fellow board members, is there a desire of any of you to be on this committee?
I would ask if Barbara's willing to do it.
Thank you, Ryan. I would like to do this if I have the board's support.
Yeah.
But do we feel comfortable voting without the other two on that?
I think so.
I guess I would leave myself out of that decision,
Okay.
whether we vote on it.
I think we
So-
could.
I think there's,
I
there's
don't see
some
John.
degree of urgency on,
There is.
on having this appointment fairly soon.
Yes.
And so, it would be in the town's best interest to have somebody, as soon as possible.
Okay. So as long as you both are comfortable, then.
I'm
and
fine with it.
voting, then I'd be happy to do that.
So do I have a motion?
I moved to appoint Barbara Carboni as additional representative for the town of Wellfleet to the Nauset Regional School, what is it?
Subcommittee.
The School Agreement Subcommittee.
School Agreement Subcommittee. I will second that. All in favor?
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Ryan, aye.
Thank you, Barbara, because it really is, but it will tie in nicely,
Oh.
since it's a regional question,
Yes, it will.
right into this next membership
Barbara, did you
question.
vote?
Yes, oh, I did.
Yes, she did.
I did.
So,
So, Madam Chair,
Yes, the next item on our agenda is to approve Barbara Carboni's membership on a regional committee working group. This isn't really a formal group yet,
no.
but it is, some people from towns talking about regional shared costs, how can we do things together? And I'd like to hear all about it once those things happen, but I'm happy to, approve that Barbara continue her membership in this group and report back to us all of the amazing ideas hopefully that may come out of it.
No, thank you, Madam Chair, and just, it is the board's policy that if any member is going to be representing the town in a multi-town or multi-entity committee or process, that we get the approval of our fellow board members to do so. So that's why this is on the agenda.
Yeah, if I can ask one question, are you also representing Truro in this capacity?
No.
Just a membership?
No, so I was sort of recruited by Nancy Medoff, who is Truro Select Board member, to serve on this in my capacity as a Wellfleet Select Board member. So just, full transparency. And the two kind of prime movers of this seem to be Nancy Medoff and Hadley Luddy,
Our state rep?
our state reps. So I'm happy to participate and bring, whatever should be brought back to the board for discussion.
Do you have any questions, Ryan?
No.
All righty. So do we have a motion?
I move to approve Barbara Carboni's participation
Thank you.
in a regional,
Regional committee.
well, it's a regionalization of certain services,
Well, it's a committee. It's a working group.
working group.
Working group.
It's a regional
on
committee working group. They haven't come up with any, once they come up with ideas, then we're going to hear all about it.
I think there's no wrong answer, so I would
Right.
defer to Ryan on his motion.
Okay, go ahead.
I move to, I forget how I worded it initially. No, I didn't
okay,
word
you
it
had
that
something.
way.
All right.
Um,
Well, spit it out, man.
I move to approve Barbara Carboni's participation in a regional committee looking at shared services on behalf of Wellfleet.
I will second that. All in favor?
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Ryan, aye.
Okay, moving right along. So now we're going to talk about Josh, even though he's not here. And that's okay, we'll say nice things. So Josh did submit, and it has been made public record, disclosure for his working on, he is assisting the food pantry with something on their website. Do we have any comments, questions?
Very quickly, Barbara might say the same thing. We actually can't approve making a determination. Only the appointing authority can. Basically, people file appearances of conflict of interest in instances where they do not have a conflict of interest, but where somebody might perceive that there may be one.
The appearance.
And if it was if it was an actual conflict of interest, he would be limited because as select board members, we're elected. If there's an appointed board or committee, if there's an actual financial conflict of interest or something of that nature, they can seek a dispensation from the select board for the board to make a determination that the conflict of interest is not so substantial as to affect their services. But just the appearance of a conflict of interest is typically filed similarly here, usually with the board, so that so it's publicly shared and available. But there's no action that we would be taking.
All right, so
Through the chair, could I just add a couple
Go
comments?
ahead, right ahead.
I agree with Ryan, just distinguishing between a conflict of interest under 268A, Section 23B3, which is sort of appearance of the conflict of interest, and then a financial conflict of interest, which is a different form and a different process. So Josh just needed to file, if what he's intending to file is a disclosure of a conflict of interest, that just gets filed with the town clerk. Select board doesn't do anything.
Right.
If what he's intending is to bring to the board the question of whether he has a financial interest and whether that interest is substantial, the language that Brian used, then that's a different form and that would have to come back. So obviously I have not talked to Josh and I don't know what his intention was.
there is, he did, I think, express that this is a volunteer thing that he is doing, He's just doing it as a favor, and he just wanted us to know that he was helping them with their logo. So I don't think that there is a financial conflict, and I don't think that it's a nonprofit, so it's not, if he wasn't a selectman, there wouldn't be a question.
But through the chair, I think that determination could only be made by us with Josh's filing that different form, disclosure of,
Okay,
financial
well-
interest. So I'm not saying,
We actually can't make that determination because we're not the appointing authority in that case. So there's
You
no,
appointed.
I'm not the appointing
No.
authority.
yeah, there's no dispensation
because it's a select board member.
because he's elected.
Mm-hmm.
If there was an actual
Yeah,
financial
yeah.
conflict of interest.
So then what would happen?
He'd have to recuse himself
He wouldn't be able to do anything with the
from
food.
certain
Got it.
drinks.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, thank you. No, thank you for pointing that out. So in any event, we can't reach a conclusion about any financial conflict of interest because that's not in front of us.
So we can bring this up again when Josh is here,
Yeah,
and you can
but-
clarify any question you have.
I would just say that historically, for the sake of transparency, select board members have typically also included it as a agenda item so that they can disclose it to the public.
Right.
Because, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, some people might, assume it's the appearance of conflict that he's just
Yeah.
making sure people
Okay.
are aware of,
Okay.
that there is not one.
Got
There
it.
is no exchange of money or anything like that here. So, okay, we will move this, and when Josh is back, we're going to ask him if anybody would like to, we can put that back on just to have that conversation again, so everyone is clear. Okay, moving along, we have, I just put my agenda here.
select board reports.
Yes, Select Board reports. Do we have Select Board reports?
I do not, Madam Chair.
It's summer, everybody's busy.
Summer is everyone's busy, but I do want to say I did attend First Nights, and this is a chamber shout out, I guess, but it was really well done and fun, and I thank all of the vendors who were very generous in, giving their treats and beverages out as you walked along, and those who provided oysters and all kinds of little nice things. And to all the beautiful artists and, the shops out there, we wish them a great rest of the season. But it was a nice evening, and if you missed it, you missed it. So, okay, now the administrator's report.
It's only 7 o'clock.
It's, listen, we are, I'm going for a record here, so let's go. Don't screw it up.
No, I have just a couple of quick things. The select board and the town administrator, assistant town administrator, and HR director are going to need an executive session to start to prepare for negotiations. I've gotten the first letter on the renewal from the local with the fire department. So we just need, it's going to start, I need to go meet with the
Contract time.
board. Our team needs to meet with the board to get our parameters and our marching orders and discussing those types of things. So we need to do that probably the week of the,
You were going into September, Tom.
yeah, I know. The Thursday after Labor Day, I think,
Okay,
if the board can make that. I
I'm
don't know
sure
if your
we'll-
classes start up or things like that.
What night
right.
is
I'll
it?
We'll have to
check.
figure it out,
I
right?
don't have a class on Thursday.
I don't even remember what my schedule is for next semester.
So if you
Give
could
time.
get back to me with that, then we can schedule around it. Excuse me, please. We're in the middle of the Board of Health recruitment. We are starting to set up interviews.
Good.
So we're moving quickly on that. What did I say? Health director, I'm sorry.
Health agent, right.
I think the big one that I want to talk about tonight is the electrical at the pier. We've had Well, ever since I got here, there's been an electrical problem at the pier, especially down by the mosquito docks. There's been no lights there since I've been here. And we have had some issues. If you remember when Mr. Stewart was here, he talked to you about how the pedestals are stretching because of the tide,
Yes.
because the tide goes up, okay, those types of things. We had a live wire out there the other day. We ended up shutting it down. We had a electrical engineer. There was a conference call that John hosted on Friday, I believe. There was a site visit. They walked around, done a quick assessment. We're going to get an estimate for the actual repairs, but we were able to turn on the north end again without any issues. And there was substantial money that the town put up with the capital exclusion at this past town meeting, and we put up $50,000 earlier at a special for electrical specifically. So we should have a tag on what the electric needs are. I don't know, we'll have to bid and all of that type of thing, but what the needs are, and then we can start a plan on how to attack it.
Okay.
It's the beginning.
It's
but
a mess, I know.
It's something. That was John, did you have anything? Because there was something that I had written on my paper that I can't read, to be perfectly honest.
Just to touch on the electrical, like you said, so I attended a meeting with the harbor master and staff from Tyne Bond. We made arrangements for Tyne Bond to come to do a walkthrough with the building inspector Monday morning. And so the building inspector, harbor master, Tyne Bond all did a very thorough walkthrough of the electrical components of the marina. And like Tom said, they're going to come back with an assessment and a price tag along with a tier system of needs, meaning here's the most emergent, here's second tier, third tier, et cetera. So we are getting that process moving, and hopefully in the end we'll have a better functioning electrical component of the marina, and then we can start working on the long-term or longer-term infrastructure needs of the marina. Hopefully that's helpful. Tom, was there another, were you thinking beyond that? What to report?
I was going to ask you to bring up what we're doing with the bathrooms, because that's what I can't read.
Of course. So there are two restroom projects going on. Let me just briefly touch on both of them, and I'll be real quick. So the restroom at the town building, as you know, is a very busy facility, gets used regularly every day, and there's lines all the time to use that facility. Those two units need to be redesigned to accommodate the level of use along with the ADA component. We have architect who's given us initial schematic, which the DPW director is looking at to see if that's going to work for us. If it is, he'll develop the bid specs that we can put out to bid, and hopefully this coming fall we'll start work on redesigning the restroom in the town building. The beach restrooms is a much more comprehensive project. It involves all the restrooms at all the beaches that we currently operate, and we'll be coming back to you in the coming weeks with some ideas for each one, with the architect leading the charge. We've had routine meetings with myself, Leisha McKenna, our conservation agent, Jay Norton, and Suzanne as well from the COA, and Suzanne Thomas, and hopefully we're getting down to brass tacks, if you will, to the point where we'll come back to you with, here is our ideas, so that we can kind of move back to the next step. But the beach component and the beach analysis is just to get some ideas moving on what can be redone at those locations, because those restrooms are getting pretty tired and in need of a overhaul. So
Right.
that's the quick update on those two projects.
And given the situation with Ocean View Drive, we may have to look at some relocation. We got to kind of stay in the
Right.
existing.
Yeah,
footprint.
Latown
Right.
Hollow, that's,
It's got to come back.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's going over the edge soon.
Right.
But I would say with that is, if I may ask a question,
Go right ahead.
Are you looking at any of the portable options similar to what the national park uses at, they use one at the Herring River in Provincetown, and then they have another one in Eastham at First Encounter. Is it not First Encounter?
There's,
Are these the beige
yeah,
ones
there's the,
with the green
there's the
roofs
Coast Guard.
with the standpipe, the plastic ones,
No,
plastic sheds?
No.
they have like it's like a compost of sorts. Anyway,
It's like, I think it's Nauset Beach in Eastham. It's where the lighthouse is.
yes, it's Nauset Beach. That is
So-
Nauset Beach.
All right. But they have portable ones because they were finding they were having to move the locations of the restrooms further and further back as, things erode. And looking at something similar might make a lot of sense unless we're able to site something a ways away from the beach. But then the issue with that is, of course, is then you're increasing the distance from the beach to a restroom. So, yeah.
It used to be far away.
Well, some of them, yeah.
I have pictures. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe the difference. No, I don't think I think it's not a bad thing to look into as they're exploring options. The National Seashore uses like a porta potty at the Great Island as well. So, is there anything else, Tom?
Not this evening, Madam Chair.
All right. So, going on, topics for future discussion. Do we have anything that anybody would like to bring up now? If not, we
Yep.
can, yes,
So, Madam
please.
Chair, through the chair to administration, I think you already did this for us once, just looking at Fall Town Meeting and giving us a schedule, backing up, so we know if there's articles that we want to discuss, when we need to have those ready, when anybody else's articles would need to be ready. So I guess a timeline. And I think you had started that process.
Yeah, we had talked about closing the warrant. Ryan had brought up some good points about leaving it open, for as much as time as possible. Yeah, we certainly can do that, and we should be able to get that off to you tomorrow. That's not that hard. We got, there's 7 or 8 articles right now?
Yeah, so I guess through the chair, not just.
Department heads know that your last meeting, I had messaged all the department heads
Mm-hmm.
and all the board and committee chairs.
Okay.
Any articles that they wish to have in front of you need to be to me by the end of August.
Okay,
So
would
that
it
you
make,
guys have at least time, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's
So that
okay.
you have time to discuss it and either recommend or not, and then I can send it to the bylaws committees, the FinCom, all the committees that vote on them.
so through the chair, would it make sense to just have kind of a standing item on our agendas between now and then?
Sure.
Just for in case we want to discuss the proposals that come in, or if we have any
Right.
ideas, because I'll admit, I have not thought about
got
this
it.
in a while.
Yeah,
send
and
you
as
the
they come up,
laundry list.
and it
Not
will
any-
also remind you to,
Yeah, we'll send you the laundry list that we've got so far, but we have at least 2 articles with the seashore, Herring River type stuff, maybe 3.
Right,
And
so,
there's some
tax
other
deferment
stuff.
that I'm I have to follow up on that. I did send you something, but
Yeah.
right, I just, if possible, I think
Sure, we
just
can
a
do that.
standing item, just so we have, if it
if it
needed,
comes up, it's
we
there.
we can discuss potential warrant articles, lawfully. So that would be my only
All right,
request.
thank you. Yes.
Ryan?
Goals, do you already have that scheduled?
I think that was something that Josh was asking about too, a meeting on goals.
Yeah,
I
it was
think
the
we
first-
did. It was in September.
September.
Okay. I
And-
thought you might already have it scheduled. I just
Second,
wasn't-
I think it's the 10th, Wednesday the 10th.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
Wednesday.
No? All right. We are here to review minutes. Are we happy with the minutes of July 22nd?
Madam Chair, I just have literally one word to add in one place. So it's on page 3. It is item B, it's B, starting on page 3, then on page 4, the motion, the motion is voted that the Select Board has determined the Town Council's opinion regarding Mr. Curley's appointment to Maurice's Planning Committee by the Town Administrator be made, and I think we meant to have the word public
Yes.
at the end of that, so that's it for me.
Thank you.
Thanks, yep.
And anything else?
That just made me think of an additional topic.
Oh.
So we had, in that, as part of that conversation, we had talked about how to release those, our town council opinions at a faster pace, preferably at the chair's discretion, and that we probably might want to consider developing a policy for that. And we just looked at the policy on policy that kind of has some steps. But I think that would be worthy of consideration.
Okay.
I agree.
put that down.
That would be great. Policy on release of Town Council opinions.
All right.
Policy.
I know where I can get one.
Well, that brings us to,
We have.
we have
vote on
to vote on the minutes.
All right.
So do I have a motion as amended?
Yep, I move to approve the minutes of June 22nd, 2025. as
Excuse me,
amended.
you said June. I'm sorry.
What did I say?
June.
Oh.
It's July. You did say June.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I move to approve meeting minutes of July 22nd, 2025 as amended.
Second,
All in favor?
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Ryan, aye.
Okay, guess what?
One other thing.
Oh, oh, I know you're
We
trying.
said it earlier, but I want to make sure we get it out there. The closing of public comment on the proposed TWMP, the wastewater
Yeah.
issue, with MEPA, Mass Environmental Policy Act folks, is August 8th at close of business.
Thank you.
I
With
move to
that-
adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Ryan, aye.
Hot damn.
Hey, Sheila, we're going to keep you.
It's August.
Recording stopped.
It's August, and we did take a couple of things off, too, so.
I can't believe it's
We